just Dowdy making up a rumor about how Jason takes off his ring when he goes to bars, and it becomes this whole thing. And Janet is a little worried, then not worried, and they're like, why'd you make up this rumor? And oh my god, I'm blanking on her name. And Jasmine says she heard it from other friends but won't say the friend's name. It becomes this whole thing because her and Jason are close, and they have like a big blowout. Jason also has a big blowout with Danny after the whole freaking drinking thing, right? The drinking thing, they're coming after Danny, they think he has a problem. And Jason's like, listen, most people would just go, you know what, you're right, I have a problem. He's like, but because you're saying it's fine, I just hid behind the door and had a swig of tequila. It's normal, whatever. So now I think you have a problem. They get into it. They get in a fight. It's weird as hell. And you're like, oh my God, what's happening? Dowdy spreads that rumor, and we don't even find out that the rumor is something that she lied about Jason taking off his ring. She's like, no, I've never seen that. Of course I haven't seen that. Until like episode 5, and this whole time, it's this whole big thing. And the reason why she makes up the lie, she goes, well, if you're going to come for Danny and Nia, she's like, I'm going to come back for you, Janet. The weird part is that the rumor stays, and Jasmine is like sticking to it. She's like, I heard it from your friends, Jason. And then they're like, well, who? That's what Janet says. And Jasmine goes, I'm talking to Jason. It becomes a freaking blowout between Jasmine and Janet. So uncomfortable. She's like, Janet kind of says, okay, so where did you hear it from? She's like, she's being calm. And Jasmine just goes like, you know what? I'm done with you. I think you're a B. I think you're, what else did she say? She's like, I think you're fake. And she's like, seriously? I'm freaking done. Because she really just liked Jason. She doesn't really like Janet that much. But honestly, that's kind of the only juice. And I'm wondering, and then Jax, he's rage calling from rehab, but then he eventually calls Jason and is like, oh my God, I treated Brittany so bad. I feel so bad. Like, oh my God, it was horrible. And you're like, yeah, you freaking were. Great to you owning up. Except he tells Jason, Jason goes, listen, what could make it up? You paid the mortgage. You haven't paid the mortgage in 4 months. That would probably help her out a lot. And he goes, yeah, of course. Our podcast is huge. She's going to get all the money. Brittany gets a freaking email, and he goes, no. He's like, that podcast is ours. He's like, it's 50-50. You're not getting all the money. I still have rights to it. After you haven't paid the mortgage for your family. And he's sitting there crying, be like, all I care about is my son. I'm like, your son lives in that house, bro. Like, how crazy can Jax be? How freaking off his freaking rocker in his brain can he get? Meanwhile, mind you, he's in freaking rehab. He's in rehab and still spouting off like, no, I'm not. No, absolutely. Spouting off lies, right? And still spying on her. This was like big to me, right? That Brittany goes, Mom, come here. Look at this email. He just told me, no, the podcast is 50-50. Meanwhile, he told Jason, I'm going to get all of it. The producer walks up to Brittany and goes, I just got a text from Jax. She reads it and it says, childish games, because Brittany had just gotten up on the ladder, covered the camera with a Post-it note. He's like, childish games, everything you're saying is like not the truth or something. And Brittany's like, well, he can't hear me. These cameras don't have audio. I'm like, girl, of course they do. He probably tapped the house last time he was there. Last time he was there, he got up on the ladder, took off all the notes. And now she's like, well, and the producer's like, how does he know that I'm here? They're not updating Jax like when they're freaking filming. And I'm like, dude, you're so right. Like, how does he know that you're in the freaking house, Brittany? I think he's bugged it. I'm like, dude, I would take out all the cameras, start over. Holy freaking tamale. I mean, honestly, the last few episodes, they haven't been that exciting. It hasn't been like mad drama. It's the same juice. It's like Jax is a freaking wackadoo. And Jason doesn't take off his ring when he goes to bars. I highly doubt it. It's just now that Jasmine and I feel like Jason are like done. I don't know if they'll come back from that. And they were best friends. And also Zach apparently gulpy and says bad things all the time. And Brittany was mad at him and Zach was crying. And you're like, dude, this all of these friendships are like, they're just so up and down. It's like freaking roller coaster. But I think it's because they get together, they have drinks, but they also have producers and a director that's like, listen, we need drama for the TV show. Because if we don't have it, we don't have a TV show. If this isn't intriguing and interesting, what do we have? We don't have much. We have boring people sitting around being like, let's go to Santa Barbara and drink wine. You know what I mean? So we'll see. Hopefully the next episodes, let's see what they do.